They want you to believe that the end of physical money is just a matter of modernity, that using only digital money is easier, safer, more convenient. But let me tell you the truth. This convenience comes at a high price, and guess who's going to pay it? You. They don't just want to simplify your life. They want control. Total control over every cent you spend, where you spend it, how you spend it. Because in the world of digital money, you no longer have freedom. And in this video, I'll show you how the war against physical money isn't about progress. It's about the power you're going to lose. They package digital money as if it's the solution to all your problems. It's practical, it's fast. You don't have to worry about carrying bills or coins. With a few taps on your phone, everything's done. Sounds perfect, right? That's what they want you to think. What they don't tell you is that this convenience isn't for you, it's for them. Because the less you use physical money, the less freedom you have. What they're offering isn't efficiency, it's a control system disguised as progress. When you use physical money, it's tangible, it's in your hands. You can do whatever you want with it without asking permission. You can spend it wherever you want, save it wherever you want, and no one needs to know how or why. The moment you switch to digital, the rules change. Every transaction goes through intermediaries, banks, financial institutions, tech companies, all monitoring and recording every cent you move. The government and corporations love this idea because with digital money, they have a complete dossier on it. And we're not just talking about knowing you bought a coffee around the corner. They know what you're consuming, your habits, your preferences, where you spend the most, and even the times of crisis when you need to spend less. This information is invisible gold to them. And make no mistake, it's used against you. Think about it. When you pay with cash, the transaction ends there. No one tracks what you did, what you bought, where you've been. You have full control. But with digital, every step you take is mapped, and this convenience has a price. Your privacy, your autonomy. They know what you're doing every second, and they can use that information in 1,000 ways to manipulate you with targeted ads, to create profiles about your life, and even to control how you spend. And the scariest part? You accepted it because you thought it was just easier. The convenience of digital money isn't about making your life easier. It's about making it easier for them to control you. The more you use digital, the more you hand over your freedom on a silver platter to those at the top of the system. And that's exactly what they want, to turn you into a number in a database, to monitor, predict, and in the end, control you. When you use only digital money, every move you make becomes valuable information for someone. Every transaction is tracked, recorded, and stored. And don't think this control is just an innocent tool to combat crime or make life easier. In reality, we're talking about a system where every cent you spend is a piece of information that can be used to monitor and limit your freedom. With physical money, you decide what to do with it, and no one can know whether you paid cash for a coffee, medicine, or a book. But with digital money, the government and corporations not only know what you bought, but can also use that information again. If the government decides that a certain activity is inappropriate, they can easily block your transaction. Want to buy something that goes against a platform's policies? Your account could be frozen. And this isn't some far-fetched theory. It's already happening. Look at what happened in Canada during the 2022 trucker protest. The government simply froze the accounts of people who financially supported the movement. That's the power of digital control. When all your money is in the hands of banks and institutions that answer to the government, you stop being a free individual and become a number that can be easily erased if you displease those in charge. This is the real reason behind the war on physical money. When money is digital, they have total control. If they think you shouldn't buy something, they can stop you. If you donate to an unpopular cause, they can track and punish you. It's no longer about what you want or can do. It's about what they allow. And that's the ultimate goal, to have control over every cent you move, ensuring the financial system always serves their interests, not yours. With every digital transaction, you're giving away a piece of your freedom. When they know everything about you, it becomes very easy to control you. And this control goes beyond what you can spend. They can penalize you for behaviors they deem inappropriate, censor your access to money for actions they don't like. Financial censorship is real, and digital money is the key they're using to tighten this grip around your freedom. In the end, what they want is a world where you can no longer escape the radar, where everything you do with your money is available for their control, censorship, and punishment. If you accept digital money without questioning it, you're agreeing to live under constant surveillance, always under the threat of being disconnected from the system whenever they see fit. If you think digital money is already a threat to your freedom, Wait until you understand what central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are. This is the next step in their control agenda. While today's digital money still goes through banks and private companies, CBDCs put the power directly in the hands of the government. It's no longer your bank managing your transaction. It's the government itself, with the digital currency fully under their command. Imagine a scenario where the government decides how much you can spend, where you can spend, and even when. With physical money, you still have options. You can save it at home, trade it with someone, or spend it without being tracked. With the current digital money system, you can still choose different providers, use cryptocurrencies, or even switch banks. But with CBDCs, those alternatives vanish. Everything becomes centralized, programmed, and most importantly, completely monitored. CBDCs are not just a digital version of physical money. They are an unprecedented tool of control. The government could program these currencies to expire, for example. They could set a time limit for you to spend your money, or it disappear. They could decide which sectors you're allowed to spend in. If they want to boost an industry, they can limit your spending to that sector. Or worse, if they don't like your action, they could simply block you from making certain purchases. Now think about the implications of that. You would be relying on a system that can be changed at any time. If the government decides you've spent too much on something they disapprove of, they could impose a limit. And if they think you're supporting a cause or movement that goes against their interests, they could freeze your accounts instantly, without intermediary. With CBDCs, the government could act directly on your wallet. There's no more room for middlemen or exception. Financial censorship becomes automatic. And it doesn't stop there. The big promise of CBDCs is that they can be customized for different government objectives. Instead of letting the market decide how money circulates, the state takes on the role of orchestrating the entire economy. If they want to reduce the consumption of certain products, they can automatically raise taxes on digital transactions. If they want to encourage certain behaviors, they can create benefits or restrictions that change with a click. All of this under the guise of making life easier for citizens and improving the economy. The problem is that, in the end, you lose control. Money, which should be a neutral tool for exchanging value, becomes a weapon of state control. And the worst part, this is already happening. Countries like China are leading the way with the digital yuan, using the system to closely monitor their citizens' habits and impose limits. And the West isn't far behind. The US Federal Reserve is already studying the implementation of a digital currency, while the European Union is discussing the creation of a digital euro. What's at stake here isn't just the replacement of paper money with a digital version. It's the creation of a financial system where you have zero control over what you do with your money. A system where the government can decide, with a simple line of code, how, where, and when you can use your own money. The future of CBDCs is not a natural evolution of money. It's a financial dystopia where your freedom is programmed and controlled. Now, imagine a world where physical money simply no longer exists. Every purchase, every payment, every donation you make passes through controlled and monitored digital systems. There are no more dollar bills in your pocket to escape uncomfortable surveillance. This is the future they're trying to build, a future where you are completely dependent on the digital system. In this world, financial freedom is no longer an option. If everything is digital, you lose the ability to make transactions off the radar. Want to buy something without being monitored? Forget it. Every cent will be logged in a database, ready to be analyzed, reviewed, and possibly censored. Without physical money, any system failure, cyber attack, or government action can financially disconnect you. You could be blocked from accessing your own money in a matter of seconds, without warning, and with nowhere to turn. This isn't an exaggeration. Think about what happens when a digital payment system crashes. You've probably experienced situations where the credit card system went down, and no one could pay or get paid. Now, imagine that being the only form of payment. In a world without physical money, if digital systems fail, you can't buy food, pay your bills, or fill up your car. Everything comes to a halt, and you are left completely powerless. And it doesn't stop there. The most dangerous aspect of a world without physical money is the total centralization of financial control. If everything is digital, all access to your money can be cut off in the blink of an eye. If a bank decides you're a risk, they can block your account. If the government decides you're supporting something they don't approve of, they can freeze your assets. And the worst part, you have no alternative. Without physical money, you're left without any way out. This has already happened before, and it's not just isolated incidents. Remember what happened in Nigeria in 2023? The government limited cash withdrawals to force people to adopt the digital system. Those who relied on cash to survive, especially in rural areas, were at the mercy of the government. In India, in 2016, when the government demonetized high-denomination notes, millions of people were left without access to their own money. Now imagine this on a global scale, with no option to even keep a small amount of cash as a backup. The end of physical money isn't just about eliminating a payment method. It's the end of your freedom of choice, your ability to transact outside the system. It's total dependence on banks, corporations, and governments to live your life. And with that comes the power to control not only what you buy, but how you behave. In a completely digital system, they can monitor and shape your behavior through money. Without physical money, every aspect of your financial life will be monitored. There will be no more discreet purchases, loans between friends, or the freedom to stash cash under your mattress. And if the system decides you're not worthy of participating, the financial disconnection will be immediate. In this scenario, your financial autonomy disappears along with paper money. Faced with all of this, one crucial question arises. How can you escape this control? The answer lies in Bitcoin. In a world where physical money is being eradicated and central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are advancing, Bitcoin represents one of the last real tools of resistance against this total surveillance and control. Bitcoin, unlike centralized digital currencies, is decentralized. This means it's not controlled by any government, central bank, or corporation. No one can simply create more Bitcoin at will, manipulate its value, or block your transactions because they disapprove of your behavior. The system is designed to be free, open, and most importantly, resistant to censorship. Censorship resistance is the core point. When you use Bitcoin, you're outside the reach of controlling policies set by governments and corporations. Want to donate to a controversial cause? Want to buy something without being watched? With Bitcoin, you have that freedom. It allows you to move your money without needing permission and without intermediary. As the traditional financial system increasingly locks down into a scheme of monitoring and control, Bitcoin offers an escape route for those who wish to preserve their financial autonomy. Furthermore, Bitcoin is secure. Unlike centralized digital currencies, where a system failure or a cyber attack could compromise your entire balance, Bitcoin is based on a cryptographic system that makes it far more resistant to failures. And more importantly, no one can disconnect you from the Bitcoin network. There's no bank or central authority that can simply push a button and stop you from using your own money. Another essential point is Bitcoin's scarcity. While governments can print unlimited amounts of fiat currency and even manipulate centralized digital currencies, Bitcoin has a maximum cap of 21 million units that can never be exceeded. This means its value won't be diluted by uncontrolled printing, as happens with the dollar, euro, or any other government currency. With Bitcoin, the value you have today is protected from the devaluation imposed by the parasites controlling the traditional financial system. Make no mistake, Bitcoin is a threat to them. Governments around the world have already tried to suffocate the cryptocurrency, regulate it, even ban it. They know that the more people move to Bitcoin, the weaker their control becomes. Bitcoin takes away their power to monitor every cent you move and gives it back to you. While CBDCs and traditional digital systems work to limit your freedom and increase the power of those at the top, Bitcoin offers a real alternative. It's a way for you to protect yourself from the spread of total financial surveillance, to ensure that your money remains yours, without interference. It's more than just a currency. It's a tool of resistance against the centralization of power and the total control they aim to impose. So, when the government and central banks tell you that the future lies in official digital currencies, remember this: the true future of financial freedom lies in decentralization. It lies in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that put control in the hands of individuals, not in the grip of a system that thrives on surveillance, regulation, and punishment. We've reached the crucial point. In the end, the war on physical money isn't just about technology or convenience. It's a battle for total control over your financial life. They want to eliminate any alternative that allows you to escape the system, and physical money is the last bastion of anonymity and freedom we still have. Replacing it with digital money, whether through banks or, even worse, through central bank digital currencies, means that every aspect of your life will be watched, monitored, and when needed, controlled. But you still have a choice. You can resist this system of control. You can question and fight against the idea that digital is the only possible path. And more than that, you can protect yourself by using decentralized alternatives like Bitcoin, which put the power back in your hands, far from the reach of those who seek to shape the future in their image. The real question is, are you willing to hand over total control of your financial life? Do you want to live in a world where the government decides when, how, and what you can buy? Where your transactions are tracked, analyzed, and if necessary, censored? Or will you take action while it's still possible? The choice is clear. On one side, we have the illusion of convenience with digital money, which really just makes monitoring control easier. On the other, the fight to keep your financial freedom alive, whether through physical money or alternatives like Bitcoin. The time to act is now, because the future they are trying to build is not about efficiency. It's about ensuring that you never again have full control over your own money. So it's up to you, freedom or control. What will you choose?